Guys, there's lots of ways to create a bedding thicket. A timber operation is one of those ways, but we don't want them to do certain things. To find out what that is, follow along this week on Landbeat. All right, guys, standing in the center of a hardwood forest. This is about 80 to 100 yards off of a future food plot location. It's a west-facing ridge, the little narrow ridge pocket that's going to dump right out into that food plot. Sweet spot. We can backdoor the food plot, kind of get in between the bedding and the food. I'm really excited about that, if you can't tell already. But what we're standing in is the future bedding thicket. We're going to have a timber operation cut this farm and remove some of the value so we can do a bunch of the other things we want to do to it. But when we're directing that timber crew and flagging out these locations, we're going to say the term clear cut, or we say that often, or that often gets utilized to say, oh, why don't we just clear cut that, and then it'll be bedding. It's good in theory, but what we've learned over the last few years of doing all this stuff is that you don't actually want straight up clear cut, especially if the timber looks like this. What happens is when you instruct that clear cut to take place, everything gets smashed and restarted, right? The larger marketable trees like the big white oaks back behind me, the black oak, all that would be gone, but there's a lot less care and attention left on the remaining trees, like the saplings, the smaller diameter 12 to 14 inch, 10 inch type trees. A lot of those skidders are just blowing over, knocking over, and it really looks obviously like a bomb went off. There's doing a lot of work in there, right? We said clear cut. They said, okay. The better description to give them essentially is to cut anything 14 inch DBH and up that is a marketable tree. Okay. The reason for that is then if you have a class of timber, species, size, composition like you see back behind us, that's going to leave you standing timber to be able to go back in and then you manipulate with the chainsaw. That way you can specifically fell and put the trees down where you need them to. Or if you're like, hey, there was a big canopy over there from the trees that they cut, one here, one there, I'm going to take the 2 or 3 trees left in the center and I'm going to directionally hinge them and fill the voids between the canopies that were left. Well, now you have the ability to design a little bit more and be more precise with the bedding than just clear cut smash everything started from ground zero. When you're hinging, after they've taken the bulk majority of the marketable timber out, again, you can fill those spaces, directionally fell them, but you have existing root systems to begin to grow. It's not all starting from ground zero or year zero, essentially. Sure, you're gonna get a lot of resprouts from the stumps that they cut, but if you have a hinge, you've got a structure that's upright and obviously then horizontal aspect to it. You have, in the next 3-4 years preceding though, a bunch of uneven aged regeneration still in that cut, as opposed to clear cut, smash, everything gone, start at the same time frame. That's the real reason we don't want straight clear cut. So if you're going to direct them in a logging operation to create a good bedding area, and this is again dependent upon the market that you have, like we'll go and travel to some places and they have a hardwood pulp market. They could literally take everything in here, put it on a truck, sell it, and it's gone out of sight, out of mind. But then again, you're starting with bare ground and stump sprouts. I'd rather take everything 14 inches and up, and then from there, you go back in with you and a buddy. If this is 2 acres, we don't have many trees left to manipulate, but we have the decision to manipulate how we want through hinging and felling and fill the voids of where those other canopies were. That is going to give you that more precise, exact result that you're looking for, that you're going to relate to really quickly, especially when it begins to regenerate and fill. West slope, late season, 80 yards off the food plot. I'm excited. Let's just get this thing done. Bring in the loggers. Let's go. Guys, for instance, like this beautiful white oak back behind me, that tree is obviously a log quality tree. That tree is getting cut and removed. The top's going to be left. The tree back over here, that other white oak, beautiful tree, same thing is going to happen. It's gone, canopy left in sight or on site in the clear cut. But I would like to manipulate these 2 trees, right? We've got a 8-inch hickory and a really hard leaning post oak, I want to be able to direct where those things go, how they're going to be felled, how they're going to be cut. Most likely, I'm going to do a face cut on the post oak and let it fall that way, and then this hickory is going to get hinged back the other direction. But again, if I just said, hey, y'all have your way with that 2 acres, do what you want, this might all be going in the same direction and get piled up, and then I have big voids that need to fill in. I want to make that decision, so I'm leaving those uncut. I'll come back in and do the work, but those larger trees would be taken. This black oak probably would be taken as well. I'd direct that to be gone, but all these smaller saplings back behind, these little hickory sprouts, that smaller post oak in the background, I'm going to come back in and hinge those, and it's going to be the sweetest little bedding pocket right here just off the food plot.